Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm one of your co-hosts, Rico Borrego.
I'm your other co-host, Tony Borrego.
And this is the podcast known as Relatively Sound, the podcast where life is unfair. Today, Tony and I, after taking a little break, we are back with an episode where we are focusing in on TV show theme songs. Which, a little bit outside our comfort zone. We're mixing mediums now, different ways to view art. But Tony and I we're both big TV people.
Well,
At least I think, Lindsay has definitely made me more of a movie person over the years, but I think growing up, I was way more into TV shows than movies. And, the very first thing you see on a TV show usually is the theme song. Nowadays there's a lot of there's like a scene before you get to the TV theme song and the opening credits, but
or the skip intro button.
yeah, basically on streaming now, yeah, you just skip it. But back in the day when you had to watch TV live or reruns, even a lot of the time there's a theme song, and it's kind of an important aspect to a show. And there's some where the songs are written specifically for the show. There's some where maybe it was a song that existed beforehand that just fit the show perfectly. Some are instrumental. Some have, lyrics specifically explaining the TV show. So Tony and I are going to go over some today. We're going to, pick some of our favorites and then maybe do some honorable mentions at the end. So yeah, I mean, let's get right into it. Tony,
So was there a particular theme song that sprouted this idea for the episode for you, where you were like listening to it or watching the show and you're like, I want to talk about that?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. I recently restarted. I started rewatching Psych, the show on the USA Network. Is that what it's called? USA
Yeah, USA Network.
Network. Yeah. And I started watching it from the beginning. It used to be like my favorite show ever. And I think there might be a couple of shows that have surpassed that over the years, but I think it's a very solid show. Like every show, it has a couple seasons that just did not need to be. But yeah, and I remember when I started watching like the pilot episode, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot like how hard this theme song goes. So we can actually start right there because that was actually one of the ones I wanted to talk about. The Psych premiered in 2006, and the theme song, well, the show, I guess really quickly, because there's some of these shows we'll talk about where we don't even really need to talk about the show, but it's basically about a guy who pretends to be psychic and he helps out his local police department in solving crimes. And that's why the show's called Psych. And the theme song is called I Know You Know, written and performed by a band called the Friendly Indians.
I know, that I'm not telling the truth. I know, they just don't have any proof. It's the deception, learn how to bend. Your worst inhibitions, then psych you out in the end.
And the lead singer is the show creator of Psych, Steve Frank. And he wrote the theme song and performed it with his band. And it's just a night, in fact, I don't even think a full version of the song exists. Like they played it live before where they've added on additional verses, but you can really only like find the version on YouTube where it's like just, the two verses and the chorus a couple times. I think it's just a fun little kind of like pop rock song. The lyrics kind of fit the show, but you could also listen to the song outside of the show and not know that it was written for a TV show. I like this theme song because they would have themed episodes where they would change the song to fit the theme of the episode. So Christmas episode, they'd have versions of the song with sleigh bells in the background. Bollywood episode, they had the song like a Bollywood version of the song, different instrumentation. There was a Spanish themed episode where the song was sung in Spanish. And then
Was it the same singer?
That I don't think so. I do not. I could be wrong because I have not gotten into that show yet in my rewatching.
Okay.
I just remember it. But yeah, so I like that would change from time and time again. Yeah. So maybe not my favorite theme song of all time, but I just it's super catchy and it gets stuck in my head and it fits the show perfectly.
I do want to kind of piggyback off that point there, but real quick, I gotta share some lore here. So Rico, growing up, he had a little pillow, like yay big, that was a pineapple that said Psych on it. You know, and pineapple is a reoccurring theme in Psych. There's one in every episode. And I have a coworker, and she also loves Psych. Like that's one of her very favorite shows, especially like when growing up and whatnot. So I had gifted it to her because Rico said he didn't want it. And just this morning, she told me, "Hey, I regifted that gift to my little cousin." And she was in tears because she was so excited to get this pillow.
Wow.
So it's crazy how, you know, between shows and, you know, I guess music in this turn, you know, people can connect.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, it's a great show. And I think more people should know about it. You know, it's a fun, I didn't maybe mention it before. It's a comedy show. But yeah, I bought that pillow like when I think when like I really got into the show, I bought a sweatshirt and the pillow, and then like some of the seasons on DVD.
okay, I forgot you had the sweatshirt. What color was it?
Gray with like a green pineapple on it,
That's right. Okay,
and it
that's
says
right.
like psych in the middle. Yeah, so
Yeah. So you're talking like the progression of a theme, you know, a theme song. They're doing like holiday versions and whatnot. But that made me think about South Park. Primus, one of my favorite bands, does the theme song.
We didn't even talk about this beforehand. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, and he also does. Les Claypool does the Robot Chicken theme. But with South Park, I don't know what season exactly, but later on they actually switched it to a version where they do Les Claypool's Whamola song, which that is a whole separate story. I think he would do it with one of his like Flying Frog Brigade side project bands or something, and it's basically like a giant string on a giant stick, and he just hits it with another stick. I don't need to go into that right now. But, you know, it's like a goofy band for a goofy show. And it's cool to, you know, shows get stale, you know, if you're watching the same theme all the time. So it's cool to freshen it up.
And a lot of the times, too, like from season to season, not most, but like with comedy shows or family sitcoms, there'd be clips from episodes from like that season or past seasons. And a lot of time, like after a couple seasons, when a new season would start, they would change the clips they use in the show. That way, like if you know if it's a show about a family, and you're on season 8, they're showing clips of like the family, like how they've aged. You know, they're not still showing clips from season 1 where they're all like, you know, younger and stuff. So
Right.
But the song usually doesn't change. You know, so I think it is kind of more rare for a song to change from season to season or episode to episode. You know.
Yeah, agreed.
Why don't you talk about I don't know if you would say it's one of your favorite shows, but it's a show that you've watched way more than me. An animated show, Futurama.
It is one of my favorite shows. Futurama's a cool one. So unlike the other theme songs I wanted to bring up, this one is made primarily from sampling, to my knowledge. It actually samples from the song Psych Rock from Pierre Henry, which I think was from like 1967. And they also sample, let's see, Rapper's Delight from Sugar Hill Gang, and Amen Brother from the Winstons, like the drum sample. And you get this song that has kind of like, I don't know, like the bass track of Psych Rock sounds kind of like almost like a psychedelic 60s thing, kind of like a sense of wonder in there. And then with like the synthetic sampling, you know, with how it's like slowed down and whatnot, it makes it sound more modern. So I don't know, you get this kind of weird blend of styles, and it kind of gives the show a futuristic theme. I mean, especially once you slap in some like sound effects, you know, the spaceship crashing into the sign in the intro. Once you put that all together, it fits really well, and it's a simple melody you can hum, instrumental, but I don't know, it just fits the song well, and I associate it.
And it's been a while since I've seen the show. When the main character, he goes into the future, right?
Yes, Fry.
What time period was he living in? Was it current day? Because I think the show came out in 1999.
Yes, yes. So he was living, so like on New Year's Eve, like right before, he accidentally gets frozen for 1,000 years.
Okay.
So he wakes up in year 3,000.
Okay, yeah. So it's
So
pretty far in the future.
pretty far, I guess.
Pretty far. And it was interesting learning that the guy who like composed this theme song, Christopher Ting, might be mispronouncing that last name. He considered himself like a drummer first, and like he was like in a band, and like because he didn't like to lug around the drums, he'd have his bandmates like meet him at his house, and they would leave their instruments there usually. And then he started like learning other instruments just because they were at his house, like keyboards and guitars and stuff. So it kind of makes sense knowing that like the song is like made up of like sampling different parts and whatnot, as opposed to
Right.
him coming up with every melody on his own or every drum part or bass part.
Or hell, even lyrics, because there is none.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I do think that's important in a theme song. Like the Psych one has lyrics that do fit the show's theme, but again, it's not like they name, call out character names or anything like that.
They're pretty. I mean, you could apply them to probably some other things.
Exactly.
But...
Yeah. And then the Futurama has no lyrics, but like a song where like it almost feel like it was written for, the show. And it's one of my favorite theme songs is the opening theme song to Cheers.
Never seen it.
Yeah, sitcom that came out in 1982. And it's, it's a sitcom. I enjoy it a lot. Granted, I haven't seen it since I originally saw it like over 10 years ago. So it's not one I watched like regularly at all. But it's a really good one to put on the background. Like I remember like doing homework and like kind of watching in the background and stuff like that. It's just like it's about everyone at the bar, and it's just a comedy where they're like making jokes and but like the theme song was written and performed by Gary Portnoy.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Wouldn't you like to get away?
And like he originally there was this lady, Judy Hart Angelo, and she wanted him to like write a song for a musical that was going to be called Preppies, and like she hadn't got part of the song, so like she gave it to him, and like he worked on it, and then like someone at like I think it was CBS, wherever Cheers ended up, whatever station picked up Cheers. He like heard the song, was like, I think this will fit perfectly for Cheers. And it really does, because like it's a piano, it's kind of a piano ballad. Tony said earlier, it kind of reminds him of like Billy Joel a little bit. It kind of does. I think it reminds me a little bit of Harry Nilsson. Like if you took him and Billy Joel and they made a song together. But like it starts off with like piano ballad, and he's singing like making your way in the world today takes everything you've got. Taking a break from your worries sure would help a lot. And then there's the bit where they're like, wouldn't you like to get away? And then the song starts to build, and they sing, go to a place where everybody knows your name. And that's like, makes perfect sense for the show, where it's about regulars at a bar. It's about them going to the same place every day and to a place where they don't have to worry about the world, because when they're in this bar every night, they're just, having fun. So, it's a song where like the lyrics are like, so like, again, maybe not specific in the sense where it's like, they're not explaining the characters in the song, but like it fits the song like perfectly. Like, I don't think you could, really have another song to fit Cheers any better. And I just like the song. I like that. It's just, like I said, maybe because I like people like Billy Joel and Harry Nilsson, but it gives me kind of that like late 70s kind of vibe, like singer-songwriter vibe. And I enjoy the song on its own, and I think it works perfect for Cheers.
Yeah, no, that's solid. Um,
And then, of course, that's, Cheers spun off the other show, Frasier. That was the spin-off show. And that show has like a completely different type of theme song. It's Kelsey Grammer, the guy who plays Frasier. He sings that song. It's the one where he's singing about tossed salad and scrambled eggs. You may
never seen the show.
Yeah, it's a jazz number. It's jazz.
Oh, okay.
Because Frasier, like his character is like he's smart and like sophisticated, and the music choices that he would listen to is like jazz and classical music. So they made the number like jazzy.
He's Schoolium, is what you're saying.
Basically, yeah, he is.
Right, and speaking of Schooliums, one of the ones I wanted to talk about today was the SpongeBob SquarePants theme.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
I can't hear you.
Aye, aye, Captain!
Oh, who lives in a pineapple under the sea?
Now, I actually think a lot of like cartoon kid show themes are really good, just because they're either catchy, they're imaginative, or whatnot. I really loved SpongeBob growing up. Those early seasons are killer. But I actually came across a video recently that actually contains all like the individual tracks from the SpongeBob theme, and there was a lot going on there that I didn't realize, and I thought it was pretty cool. There's an accordion, a mandolin, a penny whistle. Those are all in that, and I didn't realize that. Alongside, of course, like drums, guitar, and bass. But yeah, I mean, lyrically, it's written for SpongeBob. You could not put this for any other show because it says the title of it over and over.
It explains the character as SpongeBob.
I mean, I mean,
like his
who
physical.
lives in a pineapple under the sea? Absorbent and yellow and porous is he.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about shows that just kind of shout the title over and over again. But it's just so fun and infectious. Like, I would not consider this one of my favorite theme songs. But every time you watch it, you're ready to watch an episode of SpongeBob after. Like, I feel properly hyped up. Yeah. I don't know. It's got the call and the response between Painty the pirate, who is the painting, who is actually the lips. The creator of the show, Steven Hillenberg, his lips are put underneath the picture of Painty the pirate. And he actually did help write, he wrote the song, co-wrote it with some other people. And yeah, I mean, you guys all know SpongeBob. I don't have to tell you what SpongeBob's all about.
And I like the theme song too, because like it was based off like a specific sea shanty.
That was right.
Blow the Man Down. And like obviously it fits the underwater nautical themes of the show. But like the overall soundtrack to SpongeBob 2, like the outro theme song,
I think it's better.
Yeah, and it was played and created by Steve Belfer, who I think was friends with Steven. And at the time, Steven wanted like their own music because he thought it was important for the show to have like its own identity through original music. Because a lot of the other music like used in between scenes, like some of those more kind of corny Hawaiian kind of theme songs, those are taken from the Associated Production Music Library, which, to my understanding, it's like non-copywritten music that anyone can
like
use.
free use or whatever they call it, fair use.
So, and I know like down the road, like SpongeBob, they did more original songs, like "I Ripped My Pants," right?
So good.
But then they also had like what's his name? Not Tiny Tim. Is it Tiny Tim?
Yeah. They used Tiny Tim in like the first episode.
The pilot.
Live in the sunlight.
You have the future episode too with that song.
Oh, well, that's actually from the. Are you talking about When Worlds Collide?
Yeah,
that is actually from the. That's like a special actually where they have the caveman and the robot. They do like this dance number, and it's like this. It's kind of scary. It's like as a kid, guys dressed up as a caveman. There's a life-size robot. Yeah, I do think that was a good way to put it at a musical identity to the show because it all fits it in. I mean, I feel bad just saying it's Hawaiian music because I don't know anything about actual Hawaiian music. So
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't trying
I
to put
hope
down
it's a
Hawaiian
fair
music.
portrayal
Yeah.
of it.
Well, I think they picked songs that were like stereotypically Hawaiian sounding, as opposed to maybe what. Yeah.
Right, right. And,
But
that's another good example though of a theme song where like the sound effects really help make it convincing because you
Yeah.
hear like birds in it, you hear water, you know.
seagulls and yeah.
Yeah. Bubbles.
Well, and speaking of bubbles, we cannot forget one of my favorite songs in the show, Jellyfish Jam.
Jellyfish Jam. Is that the bump 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 bump
Yeah.
bump bump bump
Yeah.
bump bump? Yeah, that one goes hard.
Yeah. And everyone's gonna say the campfire song, but I
A
think
little
that
too
one,
gimmicky.
or even the friendship song, that one's better. I think.
F is for friends who do things
Yeah.
together. U is for
Yeah.
you and me. Yeah, that one's good, especially when Plankton comes in with his verse.
Maybe my favorite. We should have made. I think we should have saved this for a whole SpongeBob episode because I also really like the one where SpongeBob has to work for Plankton, and
Yes.
him and Mr. Krabs do a duet.
Yes, they parody "A House Is Not a Home" from Burt Bacharach.
Oh, I see. I didn't know that was a parody. I thought that was an original song.
No, I specifically remember when I was getting into like Dionne Warwick's work and hearing, I was like, "A house is not a home," and I'm like, why does this sound like it would be familiar?
Right.
And then I heard the song, and I'm like, no way,
Like there you go.
no way. SpongeBob was just doing a '60s song reference like that.
Now, sticking to the animated TV shows here, I do want to give a shout out to a show that I thought maybe you liked more than me, but maybe we like it equally. I haven't seen it in forever, but that would be King of the Hill. Came out in 1997, I think on Fox. And I think it's like when it comes to adult animated shows, I think it's by far the best. I think it's better than The Simpsons, Family Guy, Bob's Burgers. Like I probably agree with you. Like SpongeBob's probably the best animated like kids show, but I think for like adults, King of the Hill's the best because I think I could only watch so much of a show like Simpsons or Family Guy because it's so fast paced. King of the Hill is like slow. It's almost like it's not animated the pace that it runs through.
Good observation.
And I think that's the jokes I think just land better, and you have to be a little bit more patient watching it than like a Family Guy where there's not like a joke every second. And that show starts off with a instrumental song that is actually named Yahoos and Triangles, written by an Arizona band called The Refreshments. And it's just this really fun like guitar riff that has a little bit of that kind of redneck quality that like you get through some of the characters in King of the Hill. And it does kind of have that more kind of southern twang a little bit to it.
What do you mean you kind of get?
Well, yeah.
It's a family in Texas.
It is, I know, but like I like, a character like Dale, like to me is more redneck than like
Right.
The other characters. But I can't think of his name.
Then Boomhauer?
Boomhauer, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But it's just a really fun instrumental. There's a lot of triangle in the song, which is why I think it's called Yahoos and Triangles.
I don't think I heard of one Yahoo at the end, but
No, but it just has that really fast, upbeat pace to it, and it's a short song, but it just fits. Again, no lyrics, so it doesn't. But the sound of it, the genre of it, really fits the show. So I did want to throw that one out there.
you mentioning that it's like slower paced and stuff, I'm imagining the theme song in my head. I feel like usually it's like, the theme song's really energetic, it's short, snappy,
Yeah.
right? And then there usually is like that gap of silence where the scene is setting in and, I don't know, there's kind of a contrast between the music and the show, but it works so well somehow.
Yeah, I agree. Now, going down the instrumental route, I think we would be doing a dishonor if we didn't at least mention Breaking Bad. But you, I think, prefer the theme song to the spinoff show from Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul. Is that correct?
Yes, I prefer the Breaking Bad show,
I
but
agree.
the Better Call Saul theme is miles better than the Breaking Bad theme. I don't like the Breaking Bad theme. I get it.
It fits the
It's
show though.
moody, it's dark. It's kind of boring though. I mean, it's short.
But that's the thing, like, because I think there's a longer version, but like when it's just the short one for like the really quick intro, I think it's perfect. But yeah,
It just
Excuse me,
doesn't do
as-
anything for me.
as like a song on its own, yeah, I would never go out of my way to listen to it. Now, before you get into like the music aspect, it does kind of have an interesting background. The Better Call Saul show, the theme song, it doesn't actually have a title. I think it's just called like theme song, Better Call Saul theme song. Was written by an English rock band called Little Barrie, and the drummer of that band, Virgil Howell, he's the son of the guitarist from
Steve.
Yes.
So, I'm sorry, I cut you off there.
Oh yeah. I thought you were correcting me. Yeah, he's the son of the guitarist from Yes, Steve Howe. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, no pun intended. Now he unfortunately, his son passed away in 2017, but this Better Call Saul first aired in 2015. And so yeah, so I just thought that was an interesting connection that, like, you know, I would never have, like, if someone said there's a way to connect the band Yes to Better Call Saul, I would have been like, I have no idea how.
Right, that is kind of seems a little far out
Also,
there.
pun intended, how.
God damn it.
So what do you like about the song itself?
Well, what I like about it is that, well, first off, when I first heard the theme, I thought two things to myself. The first thing I thought, which I think most people probably would have thought, was like, oh, this show's going to be sick. And then the second thing I thought was, okay, I'm going to learn that on guitar because that's sick.
It's slide, right?
I don't think so. No, I don't think it's slide.
There's no slide in it.
I mean, I think
Or I'm thinking of
slides
I'm
in
thinking
it.
of Breaking Bad, aren't I?
Yes, Breaking Bad. Yes, that has the slide.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's like this crunchy guitar tone, but it sounds like kind of cool and badass, but it's like low key. And then, it has that deserty sort of desert rock sound.
Yeah.
I think of it as sounding kind of greasy, which you think of Saul, and he is kind of a greasy lawyer.
See, if you had told me like Josh Homme came up with it, I would have believed you.
Right, exactly.
Not that I'm necessarily calling Josh Homme greasy, but like desert rock, which
It's
is what you're getting
slick.
at. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know, yeah, a little nice use of whammy bar on the track. Like, and I also I have listened to the rest of the song on YouTube or whatever, and I'm not really interested into it. Like, it's not bad, but it sounds a lot different than the intro. But when an intro is so good that you're just like, yeah, this rocks, I'm gonna use it for a show theme. Like, it speaks for itself.
Yeah, no, I think it fits it perfectly. Like it definitely to me conjures up the imagery of like desert, and there's a lot of desert scenes in Better Call Saul. Breaking Bad too, but Better Call Saul, there's a lot of them, more than you would expect almost.
Right.
Like I think of the scene where he's walking by himself in the desert,
Yeah.
and then finally like Mike comes to like rescue him. But yeah, like that's I think it's a good. I mean, I like the Breaking Bad one too, but I agree. I think the song itself for the Saul show is better.
And just to clarify, you also like Breaking Bad more as a show, though, right?
Yeah, no, I think the writing on Saul is like miles better than like a lot of TV shows these days. And the acting is phenomenal. I think the dialogue itself too is just like one of the best. But yeah, I think as a show, Breaking Bad just has more like whoa moments, has more standout moments. And it's flashier. There's more action, there's more drama. Saul is it's very, what's the word? Like it's not in your face with the drama, but it has a lot of it. Especially as the seasons go on. But yeah, I prefer Breaking Bad as a show for sure. Now I wanted to do a couple. There's really like one more I really want to point out, and we're going back to the 80s. I wanted to give a shout out to what a lot of people probably consider a very corny theme song, but the Full House theme song.
Everywhere you look, there's a heart
Great theme song.
Everywhere You Look, originally written by Jesse Frederick, and a couple
Jesse
other people.
Kostopoulos?
Well, I funny enough in the notes, I don't know if you read it, but I put, strangely enough, the Beach Boys nor John Stamos had anything to do with creating the song. Because there's actually a lot of music in Full House because, John Stamos' character, Jesse, he's like, he loves music. He plays, guitar and drums, and he's got Jesse and the Rippers, and
Yeah, then there's Viper, who's the guitarist who dates
Well-
Danny, right?
he dates Danny.
No, wait, no. DJ.
Jesus.
Danny. I couldn't think of her name.
I mean, yeah, I don't think Full House was progressive enough for that. Yeah, they changed the band name too for that season. It was like Jesse and like it was a really cringe name, like something with monkeys. Jesse and
No.
yeah, hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Full
Just seeing the
House,
Viper monkeys.
Jesse and I'm just gonna type in monkeys because I know monkeys is in
It's
there.
not gonna. I don't think it was the monkeys in there.
Oh no, it's even worse. The band name, it wasn't even Jesse, it's called Hot Daddy and the Monkey Puppets.
No,
Yeah.
no. Okay, I
Mhm.
have to look this up too. I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Hot Daddy and the.
'Cause- Yeah, because you're right. He formed because like the Jesse and the Rippers break up. So he forms like a new band that's supposed to be more 90s sounding because this was like the season where in real life it was already in the 90s.
Okay.
And he was looking for more like kind of rock, grunge. But then like the song they played were like very like Phil Collins sounding songs, so it made no sense. But yeah, like Viper, the lead guitarist, yeah, he ends up dating DJ. But yeah,
Danny's daughter, eldest
Yeah.
daughter.
yeah, not Danny. But going back to the theme song of Full House, it's very corny. It's very 80s. It has like it starts off with like the singer's almost like talking the words rather than like singing them. But like
Right.
you can hear in your head right now, and it's like it's very smooth, but then it builds and builds eventually to where it gets to the part where it's like everywhere you look. I mean, it's very like it is like the antithesis of theme song for a sitcom. And in fact, the guy who wrote the song, Jesse Frederick, he also wrote the theme song to Family Matters, Step by Step, and Perfect Strangers. So
I only know Family Matters, but I cannot remember the theme song. I'll have to give it a listen after.
I can't either, but I know the second I hear it, I would like recognize it.
Yeah, and I will say this. I like that, like, for some reason, like, so like the Seinfeld theme, right? It's got like that kind of white funk thing going.
yeah, very much, yeah.
Yes, and I feel the same way with the very beginning of the Full House theme. It kind of has that that little bop, like the oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm cool, for a suburban family.
Yeah,
Yeah, like it's very fitting, but it's still fun and it's wholesome. And I think the lyrics are good too. Whatever happened to predictability? I mean,
the mailman,
it's-
the paper boy, the late night TV, or whatever it is.
yeah,
Yeah, again,
it works.
it fits the show, but it doesn't explain what the show's about. But the lyrics are topical for the show.
Yes.
Now
Well
you did
said.
bring up Seinfeld. I had like a master list of shows that I was going to possibly bring up in this episode, and I had Seinfeld / Home Improvement because I consider them the same type of theme song. Where like you call it Seinfeld like white funk, and like the Home Improvement theme song is like a very like 80s, like half the song is made up of like Tool sounds, and then just Tim Allen grunting the whole time.
Right. Which let's be real. The occasionally those grunts do haunt you in your sleep.
Yeah, and he do those like. But
Yeah,
that's
you just
like
get
literally
used
how
to-
the song starts. I think. So I did have those two together. There's some here I just want to shout out. Some of like one of them is a very new show, Last of Us, based off the video game. Gorgeous music, really great music. But it was music written for the game, so it's original music, but like they just took it from the game basically. Stranger Things. music 80s sounding like synths, dark like synth arpeggios, and fits the show perfectly.
Did you know that the character Steve has his own band? He does.
He has that one very viral song right now. I mean, as of right now,
Oh,
recording
is it
this,
viral?
that one where it's like, when
I'm out of
I'm
the loop.
back in Chicago, no, no. You probably heard it on TikTok.
Probably.
That's his band. Yeah, that's the band you're talking about. Or one of, I think he had maybe a different band before. Now he goes under like another pseudonym.
Moniker.
Yeah. House, the theme song for House is a song by Massive Attack.
That's the band
Oh.
name? Massive Attack?
Yeah. You never heard of them?
What type of music do they do? Like, that sounds like the most metal band name I've ever heard.
No, they're not metal. They are considered trip hop.
Trip hop. Okay. Well, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And I think I just want to now pull it up to like make sure I'm getting the right song, because I did not research for this song. Is this? Hold on. Now I gotta just pull up. Hold on. House TV show.
All you're gonna get is
Yeah, it is.
forums.
It is Teardrop. Yeah, it's the Massive Attack song Teardrop. Yeah, and that's a song where like it was a song beforehand, but it fits really well with the show. I've only seen a little bit of House, but
I've never really seen it.
I did want to shout out Malcolm in the Middle theme song,
Yes.
"Boss of Me" by They Might Be Giants, a song that they had previously recorded, and it's actually one of their bigger songs. It won them a Grammy. And that song just also like fits the show, you're not the boss of me now and you're not so big. Like,
And then all like the TV footage, clips they use like from the 90s. It just fits it so well. It is like it's a perfect storm.
yeah. And who can believe we've already not talked about two shows where Bryan Cranston has starred in.
Look at that. I mean, he did star in Better Call Saul, technically.
Uh,
Flashback scenes, we call it.
Flashback, yeah, he's not
You
the
know-
main star.
I didn't look, research it at all, but I do want to point out the Scrubs theme song because it's so short.
I thought about that one too. Yeah, I didn't look it up, but
Like, it's short, but it's memorable, it's catchy.
I'm Not Superman.
Which is kind of funny that like that's like the line for a song where he's basically like kind of a goofball at a hospital.
Yeah, I know our sister Tessa, she's really into Scrubs, but I've only seen like episodes here or there.
I've seen some pretty funny clips from not from YouTube even, but just like from it being on TV in passing.
I'm curious who wrote the song. It's a song called Superman by someone named Laszlo Bain.
Laszlo Bain, okay.
Yeah. Oh, he's worked with someone from Men at Work.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Got some street cred.
Random, but yeah.
Yeah, another kind of like show I kind of grouped together, maybe theme song wise, would be How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, see,
One of like the most poorly aged shows ever.
yeah. A lot of those shows, yeah, some of the theme songs are better than others.
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking about that. We might as well talk about Big Bang Theory and a band that Tony and I both actually dearly love, the Bare Naked Ladies, contributed a theme song to, I think, one of the more annoying sitcoms from the 2000s. A song that they specifically wrote for the show, and it's like a show about like the creation of Earth, and like it's all about science because that's what the show's about.
I don't know if I would say
Not
the
Earth,
show is about the creation of Earth.
Well, it's about scientists. I mean, yeah, okay, okay, maybe what I said was a bit of a reach, but I don't really care if I offend Big Bang Theory fans. If they want to have a word with me, then fine, bazinga, I don't care. But
And just wait till we hit you with the Young Sheldon theme.
I don't even know that theme.
I don't even.
If we're talking about kind of annoying theme songs too, I do think the Office theme song is kind of annoying. One of my favorite shows of all time.
You think it's annoying?
Well, here's the thing, and this is something I wanted to bring up. You brought it up at the very intro of this episode. Nowadays, when you stream a show, almost no one will watch through the theme song. They click the skip button, right? Skip intro. And the Office theme song is another instrumental, and it's just this really kind of quirky, upbeat boo doo 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 doo. I don't even know what it's played on. Is it played on one of those keyboards where you blow into the?
Oh, maybe like
melodicas?
maybe.
Yeah.
I could see that.
And like it fits the show because the show is a comedy and it's a mostly an upbeat show, and but like, man, after like hearing it like the first 5 times, it's just like I don't ever need to hear it. And Lindsay, because it starts off with piano, actually, it does like the little piano bit, and then the drums kick. The drums are very aggressive in the song.
Like, yeah,
The
that kick drum is so loud when it comes in.
The whole theme song is loud after that piano intro. Like I always have to like we skip it as quick as we can.
Well,
And
I will say this though. I mean, when you have how many seasons is there? Like
9,
13? Okay,
No.
9.
9.
My first guess
9.
was 8, but I was like, nah, they got more. I feel like some
Unfortunately.
shows, the amount of episodes you have kind of plays at the replayability of the theme. Like for me, the Full House theme, it goes hard every time. Where I guess I could see how maybe the energy of the Office theme is a little much at times. But I think the contrast is nice though.
It is, but like I've seen a lot of people make like jokes online, like TikTok videos where like they um they're at someone else's house and they're like, and then like they're going to sleep and they're like, "Hey, do you mind if I put on some white noise? It helps me fall asleep." And then they turn and then they click on their computer and all of a sudden you hear the intro theme song to The Office play.
Is this a thing? Is this like
Yeah.
a common take that the Office theme is not hidden?
It's just and I've also seen people's real take reactions where they actually like they watch/listen to The Office to go to sleep, and when it goes from one episode to the other, after the cold open and the theme song hits, it's like annoying because people are like, I was like falling asleep, and then all of a sudden I'm waking up by the theme song to The Office where it's like, ba-na, it's like a little much, but I don't think it's a bad theme song or a song in general, but does not have that replay factor for me that some of these other songs do.
I will say too, fun little backstory of mine. I actually am a friend with someone that actually is a friend with Jay Ferguson, the composer for the Office theme song.
Oh yeah.
Yes, so he has a solo career, Jay Ferguson, and he was in the band Spirit, and he was also in the band Jojo Gun in like the 70s, and that was actually the band that my friend did live sound engineering for. So he was very kind, and he set up a phone call between him and I, the three of us, and I got to ask him questions about music, and I found out that he first got into doing scores for like shows and movies when he was offered to do the soundtrack for I think the second Terminator movie, and he had said that he said yes right away, but he didn't know how to do it at all. He just said yes to the opportunity, and now that's how that's his career now.
And Jay, if you're listening to this, I'm not trying to put down the Office theme song. I think it fits the show perfectly. And I just we rewatched the show so many times, that it just at some point you just gotta skip the theme song every now and again. So I mean, I skip the psych one now almost every time. The first couple times I let it play through, and now I skip it. The only times I won't is when it's the special episode. Just to wrap it up, I think we got to mention Devo did the theme song to the Rugrats classic. And then speaking of classic, I lumped together both Curb Your Enthusiasm and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I thought you said Kirby.
No, Curb Your Enthusiasm and It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They both shows. They're very raunchy shows, like very vulgar, and yet the theme music is like classical music. So it's kind of like the opposite, of what the actual content of the show is about.
I've never seen either of those shows, and I know those are supposed to be
You should. Curb,
iconic.
I haven't watched like the last 3 or 4 seasons of Curb. It actually just finally ended earlier this year. But
Is that the one with Larry David?
Yeah. It's like basically Seinfeld, like in real life. Like it's because
IRL.
Yeah, because like the character of George in Seinfeld is based off his true life. Like not based off, it's like his mannerisms and stuff are very similar. And then It's Always Sunny. I've only watched like maybe half of I've only watched like maybe 5 or 6 seasons.
And that's the Danny DeVito one, right?
Yeah, but he wasn't in the first couple seasons. He was like a character they added later on.
Oh, interesting. And now he's in all the memes.
Oh yeah, I mean he's in every episode now, and he's one of the main characters. So, and then last shout out for me, the Dexter theme song is very cool, and it fits the music. It fits the vibe of the show, which I don't know if you've seen it. It's about a serial killer. but he kills like bad people, and he works
So he's a
as
bounty hunter.
no, because he actually his day job is he does what is it like blood. He works at a police station and he does the blood like the
Forensic
yeah,
stuff?
but it's yeah forensics, but he does the
Okay.
blood specifically, like the
Okay.
blood splatterings and stuff at the crime
Okay.
scenes. But he's a serial killer, and he only kills people that he can like he thinks deserves it. And the theme song like kind of fits the creepy vibe of the credits because like the opening like shows like blood dripping and like it's like him waking up and getting ready for like work, but every now and then they throw in like rotting fruit or like blood, and it just kind of fits the vibe of the show, and then the music fits the vibe of like the opening credits. So good show, terrible last season, but a lot of these shows, I think almost every show we've mentioned had a like couple bad seasons near the end. Oh, my last shout out, just because Lindsay wanted me to shout it out. Neither of us have seen Succession, but she's heard the theme song to Succession and she loves it. So I had to,
I have no idea what that is.
it's a show on HBO.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't. It won like almost every award it was nominated for over the last couple of years. So, but yeah, I mean, we could be going on and on. I mean, Tony and I were talking about a ton of like Nickelodeon and Disney Channel animated shows with theme songs like Danny Phantom and Fairly Odd Parents, or even like the Disney Channel ones like um That's So Raven or Kim Possible. And I'm sure there was some good. The Cartoon Network ones don't stick in my brain for some reason. Like Courage, I can't remember how that goes. Or Ed,
The
Ed, and
Courage the
Eddie.
Cowardly Dog Show. They live in
Oh,
the
yeah.
middle of nowhere. No, where it's like the broadcast announcer.
Okay, I kind of remember. Now that you're saying it, I remember.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ed and Eddie had all the whistling, and then they would just say Ed, and
Okay.
Eddie.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe the theme songs weren't their strong suit. And
Yeah.
maybe the shows too. I don't know.
No, I mean, like Courage is a top tier.
Yeah, I do like Courage. I don't know why. When I think of Cartoon Network, for some reason, one of the first shows that still goes through my mind is My Gym Partner is a Monkey or something like that.
I do remember that one.
I don't even remember how that show goes, but I don't know why. That just rubs me the wrong way.
I remember one that like it was an animated one, and it was supposed to be like like the time period was supposed to be, I think, like the late 70s, and it was called Whatever Happened to Robot Jones.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's okay. Well,
To the real people out there watching this who know that show, you're a real one for that.
and please let us know what happened to him.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot that we could cover, and maybe we'll do a part 2 of this, and we'll pick some more because there's so many different shows and different types. I mean, we focus a lot on either animated shows or sitcoms, comedies.
Oh,
but
I want to throw out one more. The
okay.
regular show theme, it is like
I
literally
have no
3
idea.
seconds long. It's just wanna boom with like this fat little bass thing going. And yeah, it's snappy and it gets you right in the mood for the show. I mean, if it's that snappy, I guess it doesn't really like put you in the mood. It just is the mood.
That sounds like it would be, just from the way you described it. It sounds like if you were to download your local news station's app on your phone and turned on notifications. That's the sound that it would make. Like if Dad downloaded channel Fox 13 and then like it had sound notifications, that's the sound it would make.
Okay. Think about like Netflix when you open Netflix and just the boom
Yeah.
boom thing.
Or
It's basically
Peacock
like
has one
that.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Regular Show for being a super quick intro. That works.
Well,
And a
I
good
mean,
show.
I think that wraps up this episode. Like I said, we'll talk about more in the future. And we're down the road. Maybe when we get some experts, we're gonna do like video game soundtracks and like movie soundtracks too, as well. So those will be for future episodes. But let us know in the comments what your favorite TV theme show songs are, and you're about to hear me doing a cover of the Psych theme song. So stick around for that. And I'm not quite sure what we're doing the next couple weeks. Tony and I are prepping for albums.
Yeah, good as
Um,
always. Did we ever spill the beans on what those picks are?
Let's do it now because I have a feeling we're going to be doing your album next week. So, I am giving Tony Tom Petty's second solo album, Wildflowers, produced by Rick Rubin, came out in the 90s. And Tony,
I am giving you. God, I'm trying to find the year. I think I know the year. I'm sorry.
oh, I don't even know the
couldn't.
year for Wildflowers. I know it's the 90s.
I was trying to Google it, but Hot Daddy and the Monkey Puppets were in the way of my screen. Steely Dan's debut record, Can't Buy a Thrill. I'm gonna embarrass myself. Is it 76? Let me see. I want the thrill. How hard is it to Google something? 72. I was way off. Look at that, exposed.
All
right.
You're not a true fan.
I'm not a true fan.
So
tried
listen
my
to those
best.
albums if you have not, because those are going to be probably our next 2 episodes. So stay tuned for those. And until then, we hope you take care, and you'll be hearing from us soon. Bye-bye.
In between the lines, there's a lot of obscurity. I'm not inclined to resign to maturity. If it's alright, then you're all wrong. Why bounce around to the same damn song? Rather run when you can crawl. I know, you know that I'm not telling the truth. I know, you know that they don't have any proof. Race the deception, learn how to bend. Your worst inhibitions gonna psych you out in the end.